welcome guys. I hope the music is not too loud. If yes, just let me know. If too, what's the opposite of loud? I don't know. I forgot what's the opposite of loud. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do a little coding session. I am going to add some unit tests to a already functioning plugin in WordPress, and then depending on the time, maybe also do a bit of refactoring and introduce a new library. It's going to be pretty basic, but before I am going to hand this out to the customer, I want to make sure that my code is working properly. Of course I test it, but nevertheless I just want to make sure, and also I'm pretty sure there may be some changes upcoming, and then I don't want to test everything overall again manually. So without going too much into detail, it's basically testing one specific thing, or like I am going to test one specific thing. My code is triggered based on a time schedule, and there's a logic behind that. So meaning that there is, how I should say, like it's sending out some emails, and the emails just are sent out based on a specific schedule. So like depending, it's sent out every midnight and 7:30 in the morning, and depending on the day, so like if it's Monday, Tuesday, whatever, on a weekday, there's a logic behind it if it's going to be sent out or not. I can show you this little really quick. So don't worry too much, like pretty basic code. I will do some refactoring here, but just for the moment. So like, for example, there's some processing going on, some orders. Doesn't really matter what's going on there. But the important thing is this class, the order day class, which is checking like, should I send it now? If not, then we just return. For example, on weekends, we don't send. So you can see here, we are checking, hey, is it a workday? And if it's not a weekend, so there are no emails on Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah, and as you can already see, if it's Monday, there's some special logic behind it. If it's not Monday, then there's other, like slightly different logic behind it. You don't have to understand that part. It doesn't really matter actually. It's just about, as I said, about this order day class, and the same. There's a second procedure, but it's also like I'm just checking some day-based conditions, and based on that, I'm triggering some emails or not. So what I'm going to do basically is put this stuff into a test class. So I'm not going to do like a full WordPress integrated testing here. I just want to test my class here, which is basically, and the test class is basically going to like simulate this order list, class basically. So in this class there are like no WordPress specific functions, but because it's using some, for example, this order selector class, which does have WordPress specific functions, I guess I would run into some troubles. So that's why I am going to fake this class kinda and just check, hey, would it trigger at least the right way? Okay, to do this, I'm going to use PHPUnit. For that, I'm going to include it into my code, of course. For that, I'm going to use Composer. So I need Composer init maybe. Yeah, that should be fine. Just WordPress. That's a custom WordPress plugin. That's fine. That's also fine. WordPress. That's a type in Composer, so it doesn't matter. No. PHPUnit. Yeah, just going to use the 0, so I guess that should be it. That's weird. Let me check what's going on there. Maybe just do this again. That should be fine. Let it empty here. Don't care. WordPress plugin. Don't care. Would you like to find dependencies? No. No. Yes. So we do have now an empty composer file. That's fine. And now we are going to composer require PHP. What's the package called actually? I'm not sure. Documentation, I guess. English. Install here. Composer. Yeah, that's what I need. Go here. Now we're talking. Nice. Now we have the vendor package. It's all fine. So now let's create a folder called tests, and I'm going to call this. It's called class order day test PHP. So sorry for that. So as I said, I'm also only going to test this class. Don't be worried about the namespacing here. There's none at the moment because it was a really small project. Yeah. So I will introduce maybe namespaces afterwards. If there's some other stuff should come, then I would definitely, especially now when I have Composer in place, I would change to namespacing and do it more in a more modern way. Okay, cool. So what you're going to do is let me change. Yeah. Create a class. Call it. Going to use the same format. Actually, just a bit different naming. Order day. Test. Whatever. And this here we're going to actually auto-load Composer, which would do like require once it's in vendor auto-load PHP. Nice. Extends test case. Let me check. Just yeah. Let us check if this actually is working or not. Just like a really basic public function test empty. Yeah. And this should do the trick, I think. What we are going to need also is I think we need some kind of how it's called, a configuration, I think, because otherwise, or does it, if I just do this? Yeah, so I need the configuration actually. Configuration options, prepend, extensions, caches. I just thought maybe there's a function to like create it interactively, but I guess maybe I can do it like tests. Okay, doesn't find the auto load. Why not? Should be fine, I guess, actually, because it's here, right? It's an autoloader, so that should be fine. Okay, No directory. Require once. That's weird. I guess. Let me check something. This is just kind of weird. Do I really have to now search for like composer include autoload? Yeah. Yeah, that's actually maybe a more robust way of doing this. So like maybe let me check what this actually prints out. Let's go here. No such file directory. Okay. That's a bit weird. Okay, we are here. What does this print out? I'm just too stupid at the moment. Why? Happens sometimes, maybe because it's Sunday. Okay, so that's correct. And if I go up one directory, right? Then I should be like okay, that's missing maybe. Class or dates is going to be found. I'm really confused. Class order date task could not be found. I guess that's because of the whole naming stuff. So maybe let me rename this to this and do it differently. So like this. Okay, now it's working. Some troubles there getting up and running, but hey, it happens, right? Okay, now we're talking, so we can go ahead and create the appropriate test scenarios. For that, I'm just going to look at the procedure again, so that yeah. So we have basically, if I'm not wrong, we have a test. If I remember correctly, there's some special cases on Monday midnight, because I'm sending a different batch of jobs then. Then I have to check just, maybe let's go in here, then it's easier to explain. So I have to check if it's Monday, I have to check if it's Friday, because there's a special case. I have to check if it's a workday, which is in this case Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, and then I have to check if it's a weekend. As you can see, I used here some default PHP functions for that. Later on, maybe if we have time, we could replace this with Carbon, for example, or I'm going to do it in a different coding session, but we will see. So basically, if I'm going to test this, I will just like copy this part so that I just know what to test. and then I like test send now, and then test if it is Monday. Then I'm going to test if it is Friday. Maybe like test, let's send now. I think it's a bit more readable. Test if it's Monday. Same here, test if it's Friday. Test if it's workday, and test if it's weekend. Do this public here, also this public, and then of course I don't need this kinda. So we're just going to assume here just a search true for the moment, just to see that if it's running or not. Let's do it here, okay. And then we're going to use Carbon, I think, anyway, because we have to simulate workdays or like days, so I can actually test. So like to run this test on a daily basis, I have to switch shift to a Monday, right? So I have to set the date and then check if it's actually Monday. And I think Carbon has some functionality where you can change it and like fake it. So going to use that for this. Cool. Let me just see if everything's still working. Yeah, that's fine. So, but incomplete, so there's, because this is empty, but I could like do this and then, oops, that wasn't my intention. Yeah, so that's fine. So I don't need this anymore. Cool, now let me think how we're going to test this actually. Can we like, is there any PHP use Carbon fake for testing? I don't know. Okay. Quick tip. So it seems like if I set, I can create a test. So Carbon can basically help me out here. So I'm going to install Carbon first, of course. Getting started. Let me install it via Composer quickly. And then just want to check if that's working nicely. So like basically, yeah. Just going to test this quickly. Of course, we have to use this Carbon. Yeah. I know. Let's see. Yeah. Just do this quickly to see if this is actually working or not. and as you can see, it does put out the date we are going to set, but because we are using here native, I'm going to check what comes out of here actually. So basically native test date. The difference is that, just make it a bit more readable. Yeah. So why am I doing this is because I have to require something pretty quickly, otherwise we are going to suffer a bit. Namely this part here. Just let me check if there's actually anything specific in here. No, that's all fine. Syntax error, am I missing something here? Yeah, this one. What was I talking about? Okay, yeah. So because I'm setting the date via carbon, I'm not sure because I never use it in this such a way, because like I'm redoing the plugin, right? So kind of refactoring it, because I'm using native datetime functions in the actual class. I'm not sure if carbon affects that. I hope so, or like I would assume. If that's the case, it's all good. If that's not the case, we actually do have to refactor anyway. But let us test. So I'm expecting that this native test date is actually also the 18th of June in 2018. So, and as you can see, it's not, which is kind of annoying. Let me see. PHPUnit test take date. Yeah. Unit tests work well in self-process depending on external state from your whole system. Date. Okay. I think that doesn't work. So I do have to change it actually to carbon anyway. Okay, that's a bit annoying because it makes a bit much work, but because now I have to change all this. I mean, it's not much actually. So can I just do it? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, then let's do it quickly. Let's go here and then just require once, which is vendor outload PHP, and then let's go here. So like my original plan was do the tests first and then refactor with carbon to see if the tests are still running and are still green. That was my whole plan, but in this case we have just to change it a bit. But can be maybe a good thing now because you can see the whole nice things carbon can do. For example, I can do is Monday, or can't I? Like I saw there are some helper functions to test if like is Monday. Yeah. Okay, I just have to create the date first. Okay. So what I can do basically is do something like carbon think, was it now? Yeah. So just like this, and then ask, is it Monday? Of course, and then as you can see, maybe this whole class gets a bit obsolete because all of this can be done directly with this class, but maybe I still keep it because then I can hide like the logic. If like this would change, then I still could change it without changing the whole other procedure. So this should still work. This is pretty much the same as Friday. Of course, it's like much easier now, and I can just delete the. So I'm liking this already that I'm doing this, and then just here, for example, we're going to check if the date now or maybe just like do it this. Maybe let's rewrite it a bit. We are checking if it is Tuesday, right? Or the date is a Wednesday, or we're checking if today is a Thursday. So that's what we're doing here. Get rid of all of this, and now it's a bit cleaner. And here it's pretty much the same. So we can copy this and then just check is Saturday or is Sunday, which is pretty nice. So it like this. I can delete this, and then now it should be fine, right? Cool. So far so good, and now I think I should be able to test this actually. So what we're going to do is get this class. I think there's like a public function setup. Yeah, parent. So what this class does is it's running like before every how you call it, every test function. So like maybe check me before I want this actually set. Okay, yeah. I want to just data providers test ads. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Organizing tests. That's that. Search ones. Yeah, that's something else. Depends on test empty. Cool. There's some new functions actually. I didn't know, but maybe we can try to use one of those afterwards. Just want to see if there's like a setup function or not. But you know what? PHPUnit test setup. Yeah. Just want to see actually if there's like some. Yeah. So that's what I want to do actually. Just want to see if there's something specific I have to like. How you call? Maybe I have to call the parent or whatever. So what I want to do is introduce the class, the order day And then, because I need it anyway, in every test scenario, so then it's a bit simpler, I think. Order day is new. This one. Yeah. And I think because I don't have fully namespaces yet, I have to include this here, otherwise it won't work. Or I can't find it actually. I will introduce namespace afterwards, and then should be much clearer, of course. What does it? Method isn't complete. Why not? Let me check. A lot of stuff here. Protected. Okay, so it's just a wrong function declaration or like signature. I think this should be fine now. Still? Why that? Why this? Let me check again. Static function setup. That should be fine, right? I guess maybe because of this. Yeah. So it doesn't like that I'm leaving out the returns, but whatever. So now I think I should be able to test the stuff. So basically, so I will do this like as the last thing, because I think that's the most one I have to think. But I'm going to do the test if it's a Monday or not. Let's start with this one. So maybe just quickly copy this here, because I think it's a bit easier. So what we're going to do is, so how do we do this? We have to find a Monday and set it to that date, right? I can do this either statically, so like, okay, today for example is 31st of August, so meaning if I do this, this is a month, right? Let me check. Year, month, day, so month, so the 1st of hourly, so that's fine. Let's do 0. So I can do this statically, right? So let me do this for the moment, for the time being, like this, because I'm creating a Monday, because I know the 1st of February 2021 is a Monday. I don't need this anymore, and then I can check if this order day is Monday. Return actually true, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some doc blocks. How do I do this? Just me check here, yeah, like this. So at var, and then it's the order. So I get some auto-completion here. Missing this one. Come on. Yeah. Now if I run this, should for this true test. Okay. So as you can see, there's something going on, and now we have to check. Okay, of course, what we should do is set date, right? Or what was it? Set test now. Test date. Now let's check. Now it's working. Hey, that's actually pretty nice. Just to check now, and then we should see that it's actually the 1st of February. Yes, as you can see here, it's the 1st of February. Nice. So what we of course also can do is go a bit further and then like test if assert false, that this order day is Monday, should return false. Of course, maybe let's do it like a bit differently, namely, so here we are testing if it's a Monday, and here I want to test if it's not Monday. So meaning if the 1st of February is a Monday, the 2nd definitely isn't. And then if I do this, I think, isn't there like a skip method? Yeah. I think it's maybe better to see the output of my tests actually. Yes, as you can see the skip method, and then as you can see the first two tests I think there is like a nice output actually. Yeah, test docs. Let's do it like that. Test docs. Now we do have like a nicer little output here. As you can see, of the order day, send now is correct because I think we're asserting just true. But if it's Monday, if it's not Monday. Cool. So let's continue. So we're going to finish pretty quickly, I guess. Copy this. So what we're going to do is just do the same, knowingly that the 1st of February is a Monday, 2nd, so the 4th, 5th, so the 5th must be a Friday, and then is Friday. This test is not skipped anymore, and then yeah, check this. Then as you can see, it does work, and I'm much more comfortable like putting out my code to the customer actually. Here we're going to test if it's not Friday, doing the same. So basically if the 5th was Friday, the 6th isn't anymore, and then we're going to assert false, of course. Then the same for if it's a workday. So how should we test this? Of course, this is like is workday. What I'm going to do is define all this actually public. Is workday, yeah. So this return true if it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. What we are going to do here, how should we do this? I mean, I can like assign assert test, 2, 3 tests for, but I think we don't have to go too far, I guess. So knowingly the 2nd of February is a Tuesday. Let's test this like this, should be fine. The true is false, let me check that. Of course, this should be true. because it's a workday. If it's a Tuesday, if you're simulating it's a Tuesday, it should be a Tuesday. So pretty basic. Cool. I'm not going to test this like multiple times. I think this should work just fine. And I mean, basically under the hood, this may be a bit too much. Like testing if it's a workday or if it's a weekend, because under the hood we're just using carbon functions. And I mean, like if the carbon functions are faulty, then our code is faulty anyway, because it's an external dependency, right? So maybe, you know what, let's skip this test because it doesn't make sense. Just thinking, so it doesn't make sense. So this also actually doesn't make sense. Also, like Friday doesn't make sense, because as I told you just now, it's all carbon functions. So what I'm going to test is actually like the logic I need. Like so as explained in the morning, in the beginning, I do have different procedures of sending out the batches depending on the day. So like if it's, we can just have a look maybe, yeah. So we're going to fake carbon for a date where we expect it should send out in this procedure. So like then this send now should return true. Then we're going to simulate a date where it should send the weekend batch. Then this should be true, and that if it's a Monday should be true. So I'm going to test it like this, or like more on a business logic way. So basically I'm going to test send weekend batch, send weekday batch, and this is also the weekday batch, just different time time for the orders. You don't have to know what's going around there. So because I'm sending 2 emails, one at midnight, one in the morning, I'm going to test, okay, hey, is it time for the midnight? Is it time for the morning? And is it the special case on Monday morning? I think that's what I'm going to test actually. I think that makes much more sense now since we switched to carbon here. And then I think it's all just much simpler, right? At least makes sense for me. So what we should test, maybe just comment it here quickly so that I don't forget it. Like test if weekend batch. Then we are going to test if weekday batch, and that's basically it. We don't have to test anything else, because the difference between the list for the day and the list for the night is just triggered on a different time. Yeah, maybe I'll just test like, hey, should the order list for the day run now, and should the order list for the night run now? I think I'm going to do that and not something else. Okay, so testing if it's a weekend batch. Fortunately, it's nothing too much differently like this, because I'm sending the weekend batch at Monday at midnight. So this, the 1st of February at midnight, it should send the weekend batch. So meaning that this, so like if I would go into this class, it should send actually. So meaning, just checking, this should be true. So like, because it's a Monday, it should send now actually, and this also should be true. And then I would end up here, which does send out the weekend batch. So that makes much more sense now. I mean, here we are testing again, just under the hood, the, how you call the carbon functions, but now I'm sure, like, let me mark this as, yeah, mark test skipped. Funny naming convention there. Yeah, so this does make much more sense now. False is true, weekend batch. What's going on here? So this should be true, and this should also be true. Now it's telling me on 27, so the they send now is returning actually false, because it's workday. And now you can see I already do have, I found just a bug actually in my code, because I never would have got here to check if it's a Monday, because here it would return false because Monday isn't here as a workday. So this actually is kind of wrong. Now I'm pretty happy, because that would be a major bug. So let's extend this. Date is Monday. So Monday is also a work day. I mean, what I also could do is like here, just edit. I could also have added here like check A, or it's Monday. So like, but then it doesn't make sense, right? And here, let me check. Is workday? I think I could just add is Friday also here. Why? Because then I would send out this, and here, okay, now, so you don't have to know this. The difference is like the weekday batch, so the one from 7:30, from the day, let me think about the B, the send store data. I think this is, okay, not to confuse you too much. So on Friday, the batch is just sent at midnight, and the one in the morning, it isn't sent out. So I think I just found a major bug in my code, but let me fix the first one first, and then go into the second one. So the one for the day, let me check. Yeah, this is the one which is triggered at night. Yeah. So the one for the day runs at midnight, right? And this should run on weekdays only, and not on weekends. So meaning, if it's a workday, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday in this case, and I think I just realized what we could do here also, like just check if it's not a weekend, which of course makes much more sense, because every other day would be included here. Okay, so if send now, it's going to send. The only thing I have to check actually, if it's not, yeah, so this one is fine. So if it's Monday, I will send out the weekend batch. Other every day, I'm just sending the normal day batch. So that's cool. So if it's a weekend batch, meaning this is a Monday, right? Monday the 1st of February. Meaning the send now should be true, and I think I don't need this. Do I have this actually still there? I think I don't need this anymore. Right? Or no, I do need this because, yeah. Now I think my code should work. Yes. So the weekend batch works now. That's pretty satisfying. Cool. Now let's go to the weekday batch. Maybe just to clarify here, this is triggered every midnight. And here, this is triggered every morning at 7:30 a.m. whatever. 0. I think it's a.m. right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Then this should work now. And here, let me check. So if it's 7:30 in the morning, we are only sending it from Monday till Thursday, because on Friday we don't send out this one. So if it's not time to send, or it's Friday, so now we need this Friday function. I think that's why I had it there, or have it here exactly. Then we don't do anything. Otherwise, so like if it's a weekday, so like meaning Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, we are going to just send out the day batch. That's it. Cool. Then let's test this, meaning what we can do here, Friday, assert false. What you can do here is, for example, yeah, still if it's the Monday, the weekday batch should be just sent out, right? So these two should be true actually. Maybe just for testing purposes, let's do the third Wednesday, the 3rd of February. It should send out. So this should also be all true. As you can see, that's true. Now we can maybe test, like, I think I don't have to test the opposite of this, so like not to send the weekend batch. But what I'm going to test is public function test is sent. I'm going to test this function, like to send now or not, meaning I'm going to set this to a weekend. So I think this should be Saturday the 6th, and then what we can do is assert false, namely this order day send now. So this should, nice. So it shouldn't send out on a weekend, right? So that's nice. And then I want to test the special case on Friday morning, meaning if it's Friday, which is the 5th, Friday the 5th of February, then this should be still false, and this, So if it's a Friday or not should be true. I think like I don't need this because I know the 5th of February is a Friday, but yeah. Yeah, so test not, I think that's not the proper naming, but the true is false, meaning send now is workday is weekend, and yeah, I know why, because so this is an external thing, right? So this trigger is done via cron job system, and of course I don't test here like, hey, is it 7:30 in the morning? Meaning what I should do is like test actually this. Meaning I did something there, I don't know. This should be true, like this, and so that's the exact same condition like in my procedure code, and now it should work, of course. Yeah, I think that should be enough. Just thinking if I have any special case. I know the code is a bit messy, but it's a bit cleaner now. I know this kind of doesn't make too much sense. I think if I do some refactoring, which I'm not going to do now because I'm going to do a small dinner break and then maybe play some chess, is of course like to check all this procedure which is going on here. I could do probably like do some better naming functions and then like do, hey, I know, is it time for weekend batch? If yes, then send out this part of the code. Or like if it's, hey, I can rename the functions maybe, hey, is it weekday batch? Then run this part of the code, and otherwise like, hey, run the morning batch, and then include the condition in there, and then run this part of the code. So I think that's how I should actually do it. Okay, that was it actually. You saw me struggle a bit introducing PHPUnit into my code, but it worked out well at the end. And we did a bit of refactoring, introducing carbon here, and then you saw, comparing to the way before, it's much shorter and cleaner and just like more readable. We introduced a test class to test the most basic stuff, and now I'm pretty confident and sure that my code works, and I will hand out this to my customer and everything should be good to go. Nice. So thank you very much for, I mean, I didn't have any viewers, but I'm going to upload this to YouTube. If you encounter this, please comment if you liked something. If not, whatever. Happy to answer your comments. Always appreciate every like and comment or feedback, whatever. So thank you, and maybe see you later. I'm going to stream about chess, I guess. Cool, then wish you a nice evening and stay safe and take care. Bye.